Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who haven't been here yet, I'm Phoebe. I'll be your yoga teacher for today. We're going to focus on a festive flow today. So I've got 3 weeks building up to Christmas where I'm going to be uploading once a week, and I thought, why not do it Christmas themed? So the first one today is a festive flow. And next week will be different, and then the week after will be the build up to Christmas, and it will be a little bit of a extra festive thing to do. So the reason I'm doing this kind of focusing on Christmas is because this time of year we spend a lot of time with our family, a lot of time with our friends, and I thought it's important to also take time for yourself. And often during this time it's a bit colder and we want to settle down in front of the fire or in front of the television watching films or Christmas specials. So we need to keep moving as well. So it's like a mindful movement that we need to keep doing, and it's something that is important for us to relax and also restore while we take some time off work and enjoy the Christmas period. So with that in mind, today is going to be, like I said before, a festive flow, but it's going to be all about kind of moving the spine, getting it moving, getting the body moving, and also focusing on the hips. So helping us to release emotion, just restore a bit over this time of the year. I think that's everything. I'm not going to talk too much now, and we'll make a start on the mat. Okie dokie, so we'll make a start just seated comfortably on the mat, however that is for you. Let your hands rest wherever they want to rest, so just let them fall, and then just close your eyes as well. So like I said, this time of year we often need to take mindful movement and just take time for ourselves. So just taking a moment to breathe here is really important, to check in with ourselves. Check in with the breath and just calm down the body and the heart rate so that we're ready to flow. So just keep taking some breaths here. And I'll invite you to set an intention as well here, so it can be whatever you want it to be. It can be just for this festive practice, or you may want to use it for the rest of the holiday season ahead. Try to make sure your head's over your heart's over your pelvis, so you're not sitting too far forwards or too far back. Take a couple more breaths here. And then we're going to start to go into a bit of pranayama work, which is really good for relaxation and also balancing energy. So whether that's a bit more energized energy or a bit more relaxed energy, just kind of finding that middle ground. This one's going to be Nadi Shodhana, and it's the alternate nostril breathing. So bring your left hand out in front of you. Bring the index finger and the third finger down, almost like you've got a little V. And then you're going to bring the thumb onto the left nostril. You're going to inhale nice and smoothly. You're going to close the right nostril with your fourth finger and breathe out through the left. Inhale again through the left. And close the left, open the right, and breathe out. So keep going through these breaths, taking it nice and slowly, trying not to force the breath. And if you are struggling with a blocked nose at the moment, then just breathe out of the mouth or just go back to a belly breath if it's more comfortable. So we'll keep going through our Nadi Shodhana. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed here. And try not to sit too far forward, so try not to slouch into the breath. Just keep sitting up tall. And when you next breathe out of your left nostril, just bring the hands back down to the knees. There's no rush, just take your time. Come back to that intention that you set for yourself. Whatever it is, we're going to carry it through the practice. So you can come back to a normal breath. And then we're going to start to blink open the eyes and we'll start taking our stretches. So to begin with, we're going to bring the left hand down beside us and remember to readjust your feet if you're a bit more comfortable, changing them over. So left hand down, reach the right arm all the way over to the left side. So we're taking a nice side stretch here. Try to keep that right seat bone still on the mat. Inhale, come back up and cartwheel the hands all the way over. So right hand down, left hand reaches towards the right side. And again, just try to keep that left seat bone on the mat. Inhale, lift up again, and we're going to go back to the other side. So left hand down, right arm stretches. But from here, we'll take an inhale. As we exhale, we'll start to round in the back. Bring the arms in front of you, rounding, and then all the way over to the other side. So right hand down, left hand reaches. Take another inhale. And then exhale, do the same, but towards the other side, really pushing into that back, rounding it, stretching it. And we'll meet with the side stretch on the other side. Inhale, lift the arms up again. Interlace the hands, push the palms up towards the ceiling, look up to them. And we'll take another inhale. From here, as we exhale, round in the back and bring the arms forward. So really push the palms towards the front. Inhale, lift up again, almost pushing into the chest this time, so slight back bend. And then exhale to round. Start coming up to a neutral back, bring the arms in front of you, so hands at prayer position. Take an inhale through the nose. And exhale, sigh it all out. Perfect. So we're going to come onto our tabletop position, so roll over the ankles and find your way to your all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to inhale, push the belly down, push the tailbone up and look forwards. Exhale, push into the mat with the hands and start to round, coming towards that cat position. Inhale again, open up. Exhale to round. Keep going through these movements, so just make sure you're matching the breath with your movement. And taking any movements that feel good. So it might just be you want to move through your cat-cow, or you may want to do a bit of circling the spine as we breathe. Just follow wherever you want to go, whatever feels good. If you're circling one way, then start to go the other way. If you can work it out, it's a bit of a tricky one for me. And take one more wherever you are. And meeting back into our tabletop. So from here, we're going to go down onto our tummies. So just move the knees back slightly and just lower the tummy down onto the mat. So from here, bring the hand by the chest, look down. We're going to take 2 baby cobras. So push the pelvis into the mat and engage the glutes. Inhale, start lifting the chest slightly, but keep looking down. So we haven't got too much weight into the hands. We're more using the strength of the back. Exhale to release. Inhale, lift up again, our baby cobra. Exhale, release down. This time inhale to lift up, but we're going to lift all the way up so our chest is facing forwards, we're looking forwards, but we keep that bend in the arms slightly. Exhale to release. One more time, full cobra. Inhaling to come up. And exhaling to come back down. We're going to push into the hands, move back towards the knees, keep the knees together, and we're going to come to our child's pose. So rest the forehead down towards the mat. Take a couple of breaths here. So we're going to start to make our way back up towards our tabletop. Move the hands slightly further forward, and we're going to tuck the toes and lift up to our first downward facing dog. Think about your hands being shoulder distance, feet being no wider than hip distance. Tilt the tailbone up and really push into the hands to lift out of the shoulders. Look through the ankles, and if your legs are quite tight, then think about bending the knees to make room for the tailbone lift. We're going to start to pedal out the feet here, so aim to put one heel down towards the mat, lifting the other, and swapping it over. Keep breathing while we're doing this as well. One more on each side, just really getting into the heel, pushing into our hamstrings. Perfect. From here, we'll find a bit of stillness and take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh out of the mouth. Take another inhale. When we exhale, we're going to drop the right knee down onto the mat. Move the right foot out to the side slightly, and we'll come onto the sole of the left foot. So we're coming to a modified side plank. So reach the left arm up, look up towards the hand, push into the legs. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bring the arm overhead, look towards the hand, and then we're going to rotate the chest down to face the mat. Plant the left hand and bring the left foot all the way to the top of the mat. So we're coming to low lunge here. We're going to lift up, check in with the front knee, make sure you've got 90 degree. And we're going to hold the hands onto the thigh and just lower the hips down even further. So you should feel a nice stretch all the way down that right leg, the right hip, and the hip flexor especially. Inhale, lift up slightly, so we're not lowering too much. Lift the arms up. And then exhale, bring your right hand down, left hand up. So a low lunge twist. From here, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee off of the mat. So we're in more of a runner's lunge twist. And you can stay here just opening up in the shoulder, opening up in the chest, or bring the back of the left hand towards the lower back. That just helps you to get into the twist a bit further, and you'll feel a really good stretch down the left side of the hip. Perfect. Inhale, lift the arm up again. Exhale, plant the left hand, step back towards your plank. Lower the knees if you need to. Take an inhale here, really pushing into the upper back. And then exhale, lower your knees and then your chest and chin all the way down. Inhale, slide up, come to cobra. And then exhale, move back towards your downward facing dog, lifting the hips up. Find your stillness again. And we'll take another inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh out of the mouth. Take an inhale. And then we'll go to the other side. So exhale, lower the left knee down. Left foot comes out to the side slightly. Plant your right foot down. Reach your right arm up. So we're in our modified side plank again. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bring your right arm all the way overhead, stretching. It should feel really good from the toes all the way to the fingers, so along that side body. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, rotate the chest down. Bring your right hand to the mat and lift your right foot towards the top of the mat. So we're coming to that low lunge position again. My trousers seem to be going right up my bum today, so excuse me if I keep pulling them out. Bring your hands to your leg and then just lower the hips down even further. Try not to flare the ribs, try to pull them in slightly. Lift the arms up, lift out of the stretch, the low lunge strut slightly. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, bring your left hand inside of that left foot. Reach your right arm up. We're in that low lunge twist. Stay strong in the legs. Try to just move the upper body and not moving the legs with it. From here, we have the option to tuck the toes, the back toes, lifting that left knee, reaching up still and opening up in the chest. And again, if you want to go even further, then bring the back of the hand towards that lower back and push the chest open. This is one of my favorites. It really activates everything, twists, it stretches the hip, it's just lush. Lift the right arm up if you haven't already. Take an inhale, and then exhale, frame your right foot, step back towards that plank again. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, all the way down. Inhale, start to slide the chest up, coming to your cobra. Exhale, release and move back towards your downward facing dog. So from here, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. Come to your three-legged dog. Bend into the right knee and bring that right foot towards the left side. So we're opening up in the hip, but try to keep the left heel planted on the mat. Keep those shoulders nice and squared to the mat and keep pushing. We're going to take 3 knee circles, so we're hip circling really. We'll circle one way, keep breathing. Getting that hip moving, taking it one way, and then we'll start to go the other way. Keep breathing, pushing into the hands as well. Once you've taken your 3 on the other way, lift your right leg up, take an inhale again. Exhale, bring your right foot outside of the right hand, and we're going to set up for our lizard. So lower the toes, the left toes, and you can stay up on your hands here. Just rocking from side to side. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, then just lower your forearms down onto the mat, getting into the stretch even further. Just listen to the body, listen to what it needs. Keep breathing. And from here, we'll find that stillness, so we'll stop rocking if we are. Keep the left hand planted. We're going to circle the right arm all the way forwards, all the way up, and then all the way to the back of the mat, so we're reaching. If you're happy here, then start to bend into the left knee and reach the arm towards the left foot. If you can grab onto it, then just start to pull the foot in towards the glute, trying to keep the hips squared towards the front of the mat. When you exhale, just release with control, nice and slowly. Bring the arm back around, so right hand towards the top of the mat. We're going to start to make our way back to the top of the mat, coming to our malasana, our yogi squat. But it takes a bit of moving, a bit of lifting up. So you want to have the toes, the right toes, pointing towards the top right corner. Heel is a bit in. Tuck the back toes, and we're going to start to move the weight forwards, sliding, if you don't get caught on the mat, sliding towards the top of the mat, so left hand outside of left foot. Lower down into your malasana, your yogi squat. Hands come to heart center, and elbows are going to push the knees out. So if you're like me and you sink down a bit into your yogi squat, then just try to engage the glutes, lifting out slightly and keeping a nice extended spine. If you have struggle putting the heels onto the mat, then just grab a couple of blocks or grab a pillow and pop it underneath the heels just to support you. From here, we're going to bring the hands down to the mat, just clawing onto the floor, and we're going to move from side to side. So we're going to get a bit of movement into the hips, taking our time, not rushing this movement. Again, we are trying to do more mindful movement today, not rushing. So once you've taken your little sways in your malasana, we're going to bring the left hand down, reaching towards, so we're inside of the knee, reach the left hand towards the left side. Reach your right arm up and take a twist, using that knee against the shoulder to push open even further. Take an inhale here. Exhale, come back towards your center, and we'll go to the other side. So right arm really underneath the shoulder comes underneath the knee or inside the knee. Reach your right arm over towards the right. Reach the left arm up. And again, find that twist. Try to keep your glutes engaged in your malasana. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, come back through center. Push the elbows, push the knees out one more time. Take an inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, start lifting the hips up, come towards your Uttanasana, your standing forward bend. Feet are going to come towards hip distance, so heel toe them in. Let the head hang heavy, and if you have tight hamstrings, again, just bend the knees, make way for your fold. Perfect. So from our Uttanasana, we're going to inhale, come to our flat back, hands come up the shins. Exhale, plant the hands, step back with your left foot and then your right foot, come towards your plank. So from your plank here, you want to take another inhale. And then exhale, either lower knees, chest, chin, or shift forward, so shoulders above the wrists. And exhale, come through your chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest. Cobra or up dog. If you're up dog, then toes are pushing into the mat, lifting the hips. Exhale, move back towards that downward facing dog. So we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to inhale, lift the left leg up, come to three-leg dog. Keep that right heel pushing into the mat, and we're going to bend into the left knee, reaching the left foot towards the right side. Open up in the hips. Stay strong in the hands. And then we'll start taking those circles again, the hip circles. So 3 one way, choose whichever way you want to go first. And then we're going to go 3 the other way. It's okay if one side or one way is a little bit more tricky, or if your right hip just felt a little bit more loose, it's okay. So once we've taken those circles, lift the left leg up, take an inhale. Exhale, bring your left foot outside the left hand and come to your lizard. So untuck the right toes. Stay up on the hands for now and just take some rocks from side to side. Really making sure to keep breathing. Don't hold the breath and relax the shoulders in this lizard. If you want to go a little bit deeper, then just think about going down onto the forearms, but just go wherever you feel that you need to today. So I'm staying up on the hands because I'm feeling a little bit tight and a little bit like I need that extra support. So we'll find a bit of stillness. And then we're going to do that circling back towards the back of the room. So reach your left arm forwards. Reach up towards the ceiling and then all the way to the back of the mat. So if you're happy here, then start to bend into the right knee. Reach for that right foot. Don't worry if you can't quite reach it. Just keep pulling the foot back. Pulling the foot towards the glute and the hand towards the foot. And eventually you will get there. If you've got hold of the foot, just push the heel in towards the glute. And then exhale to release with control. Bring the left hand back down to the mat, and we're going to find that Malasana again. So if you want to readjust the hands, readjust the feet, just do whatever feels good. And then start to come up onto the toes of the right foot and slide forwards, lifting that left foot towards the top of the mat. And then coming to our Malasana again. So finding Malasana, just bring the hands to heart center and the elbows, push the knees out. While you're here, just think about really relaxing the shoulders and extending the spine, almost like we're reaching the top of the head towards the ceiling. We're going to drop the hands down towards the mat again and start taking those sways from side to side, those movements in your yogi squat, just hips from side to side. And then we'll come back to center. Bring the hands to heart center again, elbows push out. And we'll go through those Malasana twists. So left hand reaches down, shoulders by the knee, and reach your right arm up. If you want to go a little bit further here, then you can start to reach your hand, your left hand around the knee, And then the right hand towards that left hand. So we're binding around the knee. While you're here, just keep making sure that you're leaning inside of the knee, so your shoulder's going past it. Keep breathing, and then we'll start to come back to center. And then go to the other side, so drop that right arm, right hand down. Left hand comes out back to the top. I can't seem to speak right now. And then we'll circle the left arm around that knee. Right hand comes around the knee, and then left hand comes around the back. So try to grab onto each hand, interlace, or just grab, and we'll take that bind. Remember, you don't need to go here. Remember, you don't need to go here. You can just keep reaching up towards the ceiling. So we'll start to release. Bring the hands back to heart center. Push the knees out one more time. Take an inhale. And then exhale, start to lift the hips up again. Come towards your Uttanasana. Heel toe the feet in. Come to hip distance. And just fold again. You may want to grab onto opposite elbows, cradle the arms and just take a little sway. Or you may just want to have your hands resting on the mat while you move from side to side. Shake out the head, so shake it no, nod it yes. Just really waking it up. And then find some stillness here in your Uttanasana. Bend into the knees, and when you inhale, start to roll up the spine, coming all the way to standing. Coming to our Tadasana on mountain pose. So from here, we're going to go to a bit of balancing. So we're going to ground, I'm going to do this facing you actually so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to ground the left foot into the mat. And then from here, bring the sole of the right foot either below the knee or support it with your hand and lift up towards the thigh. While you're balancing, think about pushing the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. So create some resistance. Bring your hands to heart center. So I'm going to rename this pose as the Christmas tree pose. After all, we're doing a festive flow. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep focusing your gaze on something that's not moving. And if you're happy, then start to lift the arms up above the head, keeping them together. When you get to your full Christmas tree, then just think about your balance. Think about that left foot grounding into the mat. Try to relax the shoulders a little bit. Perfect. So take an inhale. Exhale, bring your hands back to heart center. So let the wobbles happen. Don't worry if you fall out. And then bring your right knee in front of you. Interlace the hands and grab onto that right knee and pull up towards the chest, up towards the midline. Perfect. Keep the left hand on the left knee, and we're going to take a bit of a balancing twist. So reach your right arm behind you. If you're happy with your balance, then move your gaze to behind you as well. I don't think my balance is happy with me today. Perfect. And then gradually start to make your way back. Release the hold of the knee, but keep it up in front of you. Hands come to heart center. Take an inhale. And then exhale, start to tip forwards, coming towards your warrior three. So I'll do it facing the top of the mat. Reach your right leg back. Slight micro bend in the left knee just to help you balance. Flex into the right foot to square the hips. Take an inhale here. Remember to drop the hands if your balance isn't there today. And then exhale, step back to your high lunge. Reach the arms up. Your back toes are tucked, but your back right foot, the heel is lifted. 90 degree in the front knee, relax the shoulders. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, open out to your warrior two. So your back foot swivels to parallel to the short edge. Arms are nice and wide. Look over that front middle finger. Take an inhale here. Exhale, flip the front palm, and we're going to start to reverse. So reach down that right leg, left hand comes overhead. Inhale, come back up to warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, bring your forearm, the left forearm, just above the knee. Reach your right arm towards the front of the room, so overhead. Try not to dump down into the knee. Just keep yourself slightly lifted and your upper body nice and engaged. Inhale, start to lift up again, come to warrior two. Exhale, we can either go back to the forearm, or we're going to reach the left hand inside of the left foot, reaching your right arm up towards the ceiling. So one long line from bottom hand to top. Keep engaging the glutes, engaging the legs. When we next inhale, we'll start to lift up again to our warrior two. Look over the front middle finger. Start to straighten into the left leg. Move your left foot so it's parallel to the short edge, and you may want to have your toes slightly further in and your heels out. Your legs are nice and straight here. Bring your hands to bring your hands to the hips. I'm going to keep all these mistakes in just so you know that I'm human. Stand tall, relax the spine, take an inhale. Exhale, start to push the hips back and extend down towards your fold. You're coming to your wide-legged fold, so hands come in front of the face. Take an inhale here. Exhale, pull down a little bit further. Reaching that top of the head down towards the mat. And don't worry if you can't quite fold into this too much, it is quite intense. Just go wherever you can. Inhale, start to lift the spine. So you're extending the spine, coming to a bit more of a flat back. We're going to move the left heel in. Turn your right foot so it's pointing to the back of the mat, and then come up onto the heel. Lower down into your half yogi squat. Hands come in front of you just for support, and keep flexing into the right foot. Don't worry if you can't quite get the whole of the left foot down onto the mat. You might be up on your heel here. If you are, that's absolutely fine. You've got your hands here to support you. So from here, we're going to bring the left hand, like we did in our full yogi squat, left hand towards the left side, reach the right arm up. Use your shoulder against the knee just to open up. Take an inhale, and then exhale, start to move towards the front of the mat. So you're turning the body so it's facing down, hands flat on the mat, and step back towards your plank. Take an inhale here in your plank. As you exhale, lift the hips up, come towards that downward facing dog. From here, we'll take an inhale, and then exhale, bring the left foot towards the top of the mat, swivel the right foot, and we're setting up for warrior two on the same side. So start lifting the upper body up, look over that front middle finger, check in with the front knee, make sure it's not caving in, make sure it's externally rotating. We'll take an inhale here. As we exhale, we're going to go to our chosen extended side angle. So either elbow on the knee or above the knee, left hand inside of the foot, reaching overhead or reaching up. And then from here, we're going to go a little bit further if we fancy it today. Don't worry if you don't. We're going to go for a bind. So the left arm comes underneath the leg, the thigh. The right arm reaches round and grabs onto the hand. While you're in this bind, think about rolling the shoulders back, but keep your right hip opening up. So we're staying strong and aligned in the legs. We're opening up in the upper body. Take an inhale. As you exhale, start to unravel yourself wherever you are. Bring the hands back to the mat. And then we're going to step back to our downward facing dog. Take an inhale through the nose here. Exhale, sigh out of the mouth. Perfect. Bring your toes together. Bend into the knees. Look to the top of the mat. And when you exhale, you can either walk, step, or hop towards the top of the mat. Inhale, come to your flat back, hands on the shins or hands on the mat. Exhale, fold down, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way back up. And exhale, hands come through to heart center. So before we go to the other side, we're just going to check in with ourselves, take a mindful moment, remind ourselves of our intention. And then we can start to open the eyes up again. We'll go to the other side. So I'm going to face you again. Ground into the right foot this time and grab onto the left leg, the left heel, to pull it either above the knee or below the knee. Find your balance. Push your hands to heart center. Relax the shoulders. So we're finding that Christmas tree again. And remember, you can stay here with the hands at heart center, just focusing on your balance, or start to reach the arms up above the head, keeping them together. Relax the shoulders when we get there. Full Christmas tree, full festive mood. Perfect. Take an inhale. And then exhale, hands come back through to heart center. Start to lift the left foot off of the leg, bringing the knee in front of us. Interlace the hands and just grab onto that knee and pull upwards. So we're really focusing on our balance here, using that right foot to ground into the mat, and taking a slight micro bend in the right knee if we need to. From here, keep the right hand on the leg, on the knee, open up to the left side and reach the left arm back towards the back of the room, the back of the mat. Keep your gaze forwards or wherever you are, or start to test yourself and look backwards. Take an inhale, and then exhale, come back to face the front. Hands come to heart center, and we're going to go towards our warrior three. So inhale again, and then exhale, start tipping forwards, coming towards our warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3. Remember, flexed left foot to square the hips down towards the mat. Relax the shoulders, micro bend in the right knee. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, step back towards that high lunge, reaching the arms up, engaging the left leg 90 degree in the front knee. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, open that left foot out to the side, so parallel to the short edge. Maybe you might need to move or adjust yourself, but just find that warrior two position. Look over the front middle finger. We'll take an inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reach down the back leg, reaching your right arm overhead, reversing that warrior. Inhale, start to lift up to warrior two. Exhale, bring your right forearm towards the leg and reach over with your left arm. Again, try not to dump your weight into the arm, into the leg. Stay engaged and lifted. Start to lift back up for your inhale, warrior two. As you exhale, either go to the forearm again or reach your right hand inside of the right foot, reaching the left arm up. One long line from bottom hand to top. Perfect. Start to inhale to come back up. And then straighten the front leg. Move your foot so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. And with your wide leg fold, you may want to go a little bit shorter or you may want to go a little bit wider. Wherever you are, bring your hands to your hips. Straighten in the back, so extend, reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale. Exhale, start to push the hips back. Keep that back nice and flat until we drop the hands in front of the face. Inhale, lift up slightly, find some space. And then exhale, pull down even further. You may want to move the hands down inside of the feet so you can pull down even further, drawing that top of the head down. Wherever you are, just start to lift up slightly. Hands come in front of the face. And we're going to come to our Skandasana on the other side. It's not the easiest pose, and remember that if your heel is lifted, then that's absolutely fine. Flex into the left foot, and we'll go to a bit of an opening of the chest and a bit of a twist. Right hand comes towards the right, so we're inside of the right knee. Left arm reaches up. Perfect. Take an inhale, and then exhale, start to find your way towards the front of the mat. Come back to your plank and we'll take an inhale. Exhale, lift the hips up, come to your downward facing dog. From here, we're going to inhale again. And exhale, bring your right foot towards the top of the mat, inside of the hands. Swivel the left foot so it's parallel to the short edge. And then start to lift up to your warrior two, your Virabhadrasana two. So from here, we're going to take an inhale. As we exhale, we're going to reach down with the right hand or the right arm. You can go for your chosen extended side angle. So you can either drop the forearm onto the leg or the right hand inside of the right foot. Reach your left arm up, one long line, or reach overhead. Go wherever you want to. Just take some breaths. If you wanted to go a little bit further here, then we can go for that bind. So right arm under the thigh, left hand grabs onto the right. Find your extended side angle bind. So stay strong in the legs here. Roll the shoulder back, look up. We'll take an inhale. And then exhale, start to release the hands. Come to frame your front foot and step back to your downward facing dog. So once we get back there, you may want to just pedal out the legs a little bit. Feel into the hips, take any wiggles of the hips that you might want. And then we'll find a bit of stillness. We'll take 3 breaths here. That's 1. Keep lifting the tailbone up, pushing into the hands. That's 2. On your next exhale, drop the knees down towards the mat. Toes together, knees slightly apart, and just sink down into your child's pose. Bring that forehead down to the mat. Relax the shoulders. Just come back to your breath. Maybe take this time to come back to your intention, whatever that was, however it's guiding you. And then when you next inhale, start to walk the hands back towards the knees, lifting yourself up again. And we're going to swing the legs round to face the front of the mat. So hips come onto the mat. Swing those legs round. Flex into the feet and straighten the legs. If you do have tight hamstrings and you can't quite fold with them, then just bend into the knees slightly and make more space. Wherever you are, we'll sit tall, take an inhale. And then exhale, start to walk the hands down the legs. So when you start rounding the back, try to pull out a little bit to extend the spine. You want to lift that tailbone away from you. Once you've found your fold, take an inhale. And then exhale, pull the chest down towards the legs a little bit further. And then relax the neck. Take another inhale. And an exhale. And then when you next inhale, start to walk the hands back up the legs. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle down the mat, because you're probably towards the back like I was. Bend into the knees. Straighten the arms in front of you and take an inhale. As you exhale, start to move your way down towards the mat, but taking it really nice and slowly. Remember this mindful movement, this feeling each part of the body movement. You'll work through a sticky spot. Just keep going, let the shudders happen, and then you'll meet the mat. Once you get here, we're going to bend into the left leg, pop that sole of the foot onto the mat, and then bring the right ankle underneath the left knee. Use your hand to push the knee towards the front of the mat, and then you're going to try and keep that knee there, and let it do it on its own. So bring your hands by your side, just either relaxing onto the floor, or you can be holding your belly here as well, just feeling the breath. Keep trying to push that right knee forwards, flexing into the right foot as your figure 4 pose. Perfect. When you next exhale, just start to drop the sole of the right foot down towards the floor. So we're coming to a twist, but a bit of a funky twist. Straighten your arms out if they're not already and look towards that right hand. And look towards that right hand. Take a breath here. Really try and push that right shoulder into the mat. When you next inhale, start to lift yourself back out of it, and then we'll swap the legs over. So sole of the right foot onto the mat. A left ankle comes under the right knee, Use your hand to push the left knee forwards. And then we release the hand, keeping the legs where they are. Drop the hands wherever you want to. And just take some breaths here. When you next exhale, drop the left foot onto the floor towards the right, coming to that funky twist again. So arms come out beside you, look towards the left hand, push the left shoulder in towards the mat. So twisting is a really good way to find relaxation, but also to detox. So it's quite a good pose for the Christmas period, especially as we're doing a lot of drinking, a lot of eating. So just doing poses that help us to detox are really important. Start to lift the legs back up. Bring the feet mat distance. Bring your hands to your belly. And then we're going to windscreen wipe the legs down to the right, both knees down. Lift them back up and drop them down to the left. And then come back up through center. Drop the knees in towards one another. Keep one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. We're going to slow things down, slowing the breath down, taking some nice belly breaths. And while you're here, come back to that intention that you have in your head that's been guiding you through the practice. When you next inhale through the nose, take it all the way to the top. Maybe even suck in a bit more when you get there. And then exhale, sigh out of the mouth. Namaste. So there we go. That is our first festive video upload. I hope you enjoyed practicing with me today. And next week I will have another festive themed class for you, and the same the following week. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. It will be the same time next week, and I can't wait to share it with you. Thank you so much for coming along. Can you make sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the videos, if you enjoy practicing with me, and give any videos a thumbs up that you like. Thank you so much for coming along, and I will see you next week.